One good afternoon, everybody. It's a wacky Wednesday here on Disruption Network. You can follow along on Twitch. You can follow along on YouTube. And, of course, you can follow along on Facebook on the live account. So just go to Disruption Network. Like the page. Share the page. Subscribe to our YouTube page. Drop us some super chats and smash that, like to say in YouTube land. If not for the sponsors, this podcast isn't possible. Shout out to EJA Moving Services, the professional movers. When you're ready to move and relocate, hit up Eddie at 315-335-0516. No task that they can't handle. They can pretty much move anything. They'll move a freaking freight elevator if they wanted to. They'll move an elephant. They'll move your studio. They'll move your gym equipment. They'll move your grandmother into a nursing home. They'll move pretty much anything. EJAmoving.com. You can find them online. Shout out to Joey's at 307. It's 307 Mohawk Street. You want a good meal this week? Hit up my good friend Matt Grabsky at 315-864-3527. Amazing, amazing restaurant. Call them today for reservations because they fill up fast. If you want a good seafood dinner or if you're looking for catering for your event, hit up Joey's. 315eats.com. Also serving booze now, so that's cool. They got some alcohol in there if you want to just sit around and drink a bunch of wine and have a great meal. Joey's at 307 is the place to be. Shout out to Utica Coffee, wakethehellup.com. Thank you to Dave Longaretta, my attorney, for keeping me out of trouble since the early 90s. Give him a call at 315-735-6162. Thank you to Saranac. My guests today are drinking a bunch of Saranac. Saranac.com is where you can find them online. Under Too Long is a book by Billy the Liquor Guy. You could find that book. It's a great book. It's a lot of action in that book. It's about undercover agents infiltrating the bad guys, if you will, to give you a short book report on it. Amazon.com is where you can find it or wherever you get your books. And then shout out to Ballsy, ballwash.com. Use promo code members only. Get yourself some hygiene for your groin area. I feel like one man, the band, can use some hygiene for their groin area.
I tell you what, I've never read a book and I've never washed my balls, and both those things sound really cool.
No wonder why it smells like vinegar in here.
I might give it a try.
I was wondering, what's happening, guys? Good to see you.
Good to see you, glad to be here.
Coming up this weekend, the 14th annual Animal for Animals benefit to benefit Anita Stevens Swan Humane Society. Shout out Rich Masucci. We've been talking about this for the last 2 weeks, and it's finally here. It's finally coming. It's here this weekend. 12 North Sports Bar is the place to be. Friday night, Saturday night, and you guys are making your debut for Animal Jam. Is that correct?
That's right, and our debut at 12 North. We're very glad to be playing there too, man. That is super cool stuff.
It's a great event, man. It is. It's a great place to cut your teeth.
Yeah, that's for sure.
You know, that's a good spot, and he's always got a good support in the crowd, and there's always a great lineup, and it's a very diverse lineup. So you guys in the fold definitely makes it diverse, you know, mix up the blues and then the heavy metal, and then you guys are a little bit more jammier, right?
Yeah. Oh, yeah. No, we were really glad to be playing that. The shout out to Rich. That was a huge. We're so glad that he was able to get us. This will be our second benefit this year for the animals.
Oh, cool. What was the other one?
We hosted one back in May. It was called Cat Stock. It was for Finland's Fosters. It was a local animal shelter that was going out of business. We ended up raising about a little over $4,000, $5,000 for them.
Yeah, that's awesome. You get a freaking bell for that one.
Ooh,
I like
that. I like it.
It's cool.
No, that was. I'm an animal lover. So
do you guys have pets?
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
All my life.
Yeah. Do you guys have dogs, cats, both?
You go first.
Go
what do you
first,
got,
Joe?
Yeah, I had dogs all my life, cats all my life. Now we only have a dog, but
yeah,
I love them.
Yeah, no doubt, man.
I have one cat that lives with me and my fiance, and then at my parents' house I have 5 more cats, 2 dogs. My dad feeds like 4 squirrels in our backyard. We're freaking.
Does he name the squirrels?
I don't know if he has yet. I don't know if he wants to get too attached. You never know. I've seen too many squirrels in the middle of the road. I don't know if he wants to get attached, but
yeah. No,
he feeds so many animals out there. So any opportunity I have to hop on and help the animals, I am there.
You feed those squirrels a little too much, you'll find them in your attic.
Yeah, that's for sure. Well, you start seeing some fat squirrels out there, too. You start looking, and you're like, that squirrel's a little obese over there.
See them fall out of trees.
Yeah. We saw some fall out of a tree before.
Yeah, we did.
No doubt, man. Nice. So how long has One Man the Band been a thing?
One Man the Band has been a thing for a little over, I think we started in June of 2020, right as COVID was like kind of, what we thought was dying down the first time.
On the first slope.
The first slope down. Yeah, that didn't happen too much. But me and our guitarist, Brad Butler, who's not here with us, he's at work at Oneida Music. Shout out to Oneida Music. Me and him have been playing music together since we were about 10 years old. We grew up down the road from each other. And it's always been little side things, and we finally decided, like, hey, let's get serious. Let's go out. Let's play some gigs. Originally, it was just me and him. That's where we came up with One Man the Band. He was one man. I was the band. And then we just felt like it wasn't enough. We needed to add more. Guitar and drums sounds nice. That's what the Black Keys does, but he just needs some more, you know? And then he knew Joe from working at Unique E-Cigs, one of the stores around Oneida, and everywhere. They're all over the place. He met Joe. We brought Joe in. Then we brought our buddy Jameson in, who didn't work out. He had like 3 bands he was in, but he still produces all of our music.
Oh, cool.
He's our producer now, so he's still in the band in some sense. And then we got our buddy Gabe to come play some keys and sing, and that happened in March when Gabe joined the band. Here we are in October, 50-plus shows down, and just playing as much as we can.
Wow, that's cool, man. You have played 50 shows already in the middle of COVID.
In the middle of COVID.
Well, that's not easy.
2020, we played 1. 2021, we're up to 50. So It was quite a jump.
What venues you guys playing?
All over the place, all the way from our very first show ever was at the Oneida American Legion, which we love it there. That's right. That's our hometown, Oneida. That's where we're from. So any opportunity we have to play in Oneida is huge for us. The Good Life out in Camden. They're really good stuff out there. I've been a big fan of them. And then we play, we've played Funk and Waffles.
Oh, cool.
We play this place out in Syracuse called Just Some Jazz Lounge, where we host an open mic once a month out there.
The Penny, another place in Syracuse.
Penny, another place in Syracuse, all the way out. We got a show in Buffalo this weekend. We've been to Albany. We've been to Rochester.
Oh, cool. So you're making the run for it.
We're trying. We're just trying to get out there as much as we can this first year, and maybe as things go, we'll slow the shows down a little more so you're not oversaturating the market. But this year, we were trying to get people to remember that name, One Man the Band.
The cool thing about this area, it's so centrally located, so you can go drive to Buffalo in like 2.5, 3 hours, play a show, go to Rochester. Rochester's got a great music scene, too.
Phenomenal.
Syracuse, 40 minutes away. Well, it's even closer for you guys, being in Oneida and whatnot.
Yeah.
Albany's super close. Like, it's very centrally located. You go to Vermont, a couple hours, and you can play in a region and not drive more than 4 hours and have a bunch of great shows.
Exactly. We're hoping to get down to New York City next year. That's a goal of ours, is to play, which, it shouldn't be terribly hard. There's plenty of places to play down there.
Yeah.
But, we want to play everywhere we can, you know.
Are you guys recording?
This winter we'll be recording. We're going to be putting out a new EP this winter. Still don't have a name for it, but we're going to our buddy's Jameson's house. He's going to be, he has built a studio in his apartment. Kind of like what you have here, this whole big thing built in here. He built a studio in his living room, so he doesn't have a living room anymore. But we go in there, we record. He gives us pretty good deals on it. You know, I've heard of people paying thousands and thousands for EPs to be recorded, and he does a pretty damn good job at a very reasonable price for us. So.
Awesome. It's good to have that in your pocket.
Yeah, it's nice because the very first album we recorded was recorded in my garage, track by track, with one microphone. So it's nice to be able to go in with some professional equipment.
Logan, you got some radio pipes. You ever think about getting in the radio?
I've been told. I appreciate that. I can go a little deeper if you need me to.
Yeah, I want you to read the news for us right now. I think you'd be a great newscaster.
I appreciate that.
I'd listen to it.
You would?
Oh, yeah.
Would you? I don't want to read the news. The news is all depressing.
This is the first time we've met, so this is cool. I love seeing new bands coming up, on the scene, and it's amazing to me. And this is what I love about what Masucci does at Animals for Animals, is he brings up these up and coming bands. 50 shows on your belt. That's really awesome, but you're still fairly new.
Yeah. I wouldn't consider us established by any means. We've played a lot, but that doesn't translate to being a successful established band. So that's what we're going for, and
awesome.
We're hoping to meet the right people for it. You seem like a good contact. Rich is a great contact to have. A couple people out in Syracuse. We've been a guy named Charlie Orlando out in
Charlie's
Syracuse.
A great friend of mine.
Shout out to Charlie, man. He's awesome. He books like almost every place in Syracuse.
Yeah.
Well, Funk and Waffles and
Funk, Al's, and
he's doing Al's too. That's right.
Middle Ages,
and then Ray Brothers as well.
And Ray Brothers.
He does Ray Brothers.
He's all over the place.
As he drives around in his RV and then he works all day. And
he sure looks like he drives around in that RV.
Last time I checked on him, I think he was in like Portland or something like that. He was way out west, and Charlie lives it up. But you know what I love about Charlie too? I had a meeting with him not too long ago, and in the middle of the pandemic, he decided he's going to get rid of his house, and him and the wife are just going to buy an RV and travel the country, and he's doing it, you know?
Yeah. A lot of people say
Living
that.
nomad
Yeah.
life.
A lot of people say that they want to do that, but to go through with it, that's
Yeah.
awesome, man. That's super cool.
Charlie was in a band called Dexter Grove, and so they literally spent 300 days out of the year on the road back in the 90s.
That's the
and
goal.
the guy had a contact book, and I'm telling you, it was thicker than some phone books that I've seen. It was like this thick.
I believe
And
it.
he had every venue pretty much in the United States in this book, and he'd be like, hey, you guys want to play in Missouri today? Here, I got a contact for you in Missouri. Amazing human being, and he's doing great things with the music community out in Syracuse.
Those goals right there. Those are life goals, man.
Yeah.
That's where I want to be. I want to be able to know, not only do I want to, because a eventual goal of mine is to start a booking agency.
Okay.
I'm getting to know all these venues. I know a lot of musicians. I want to help other people get gigs, just like I've had people help us get gigs this year. Charlie's one of them. Shout out to him. Shout out to Rich. There have been a lot of people helping us get gigs. So
Yeah.
it's a goal of mine is to start my own booking agency at some point.
Yes, I love the sound of a cracking of a beer. Don't you? Right, it's a great sound. The good thing too is like I feel like you're a very personable person. You know, for meeting you for the first 5-10 minutes here, you know, the networking is key, and especially when you're playing in a band. Network with a band from Buffalo, trade gigs with each other. You know, you find your home base and have them come play your home base. You go play their home base. I mean, that's how these bands grow. Especially that's what I love about the jam band community, because the jam band community is very communal and it's very supportive of one another. And you can go play Buffalo and open up for, say, Aqueous or whomever, that's out there.
Yep.
Or go to Rochester and open up for Giant Panda, and they'll come here, so on and so forth. So it's a lot of trading gigs and networking. And I feel like that's kind of your nature.
Yeah, that's exactly where I want to be. It took me a while. I grew up with a lot of social anxiety, and it's taken this band to really get me out of that bubble. It's taken me. I've had no choice but to go talk to people, even if I'm not 100% comfortable, which I've gotten to that point now. But when it first started, like, I'm trying to talk, like, hey, I'm part of this band. We've never played any shows. We want you to pay us to play. And it's hard to go up to people and ask that kind of stuff. But there have been a lot of places that really helped us out, and people that have helped me out. And yeah, not only has this band been like a dream of mine, it's really helped me come over some personal stuff, like that social anxiety.
Yeah.
It's much easier for me to talk to people now.
Just
Relatable.
from being in the band, huh?
Just from being in the band, just
Wow.
from going out talking to people. And
So prior to the band, you were a little awkward?
I was a little quiet,
Yeah.
awkward. I didn't really have too much to say.
Okay.
Even if I had something to say, I wasn't sure if people wanted to hear it.
Huh.
No, I don't care if
Now,
people
how do
want
you
to hear
feel
it.
that the band has gotten you out of your social anxieties?
I'm very glad for it. I'm very grateful for all four members, Joey here, Brad Butler, Gabriel Esparza, our guitarist and keyboard player, respectively. They've helped me grow so much as a person in this past year, and I've been told it's night and day from me last year to me now. I'm a different person, and it seems to be for the better. I like it.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
That's cool. So you feel that this band is going to stick together for a while then?
Oh, I sure do.
Yeah?
I mean, me and the guitarist have been. I've known him since the day we were born.
Wow.
We grew up down the street.
Mhm.
Me and him known each other for 25 years now, 26 years, and we've always stuck together. And this guy here, he is one of the most dedicated people I've ever met. This guy is just ready to take it to the world. He wants to go on a world tour tomorrow if we could.
I'll do it 7 days a week if I can. I
He
don't
is
wanna do
ready to
anything
go,
else.
and that is exactly what we were looking for in this band. We wanted, a lot of people want the band to be the side project, but like this is our main thing here.
What do you play, Joe?
I play the bass and I sing.
You're a bass player, right on, fellow bass player. I
Hell
love
yeah.
it. Yeah, man. We're the glue, right? The bass players are the glue.
That's
of the band.
right.
Kind of holding it all together.
Oh yeah.
And Logan, you play guitar, right?
I play the drums myself.
Oh,
and
you're a
a little
drummer.
guitar. I play the keys, but
Okay.
in this band, I play the drums.
Okay.
That's why we came together. We're always locked in.
Yeah, that's right.
You got to lock it
Yeah,
in.
yeah. I got to stay with the bass. I can't be too far from him at one time.
Right. Are you guys drinking buddies? Well, obviously by cracking up.
Yeah, yeah.
No,
we
every
are
band
now.
I ever played in, the drummer and I were always drinking buddies.
Yeah, yeah. It's usually the Gabe and Brad telling us to slow down. So,
Right.
hey guys, the show hasn't started yet, but
Toxic twins.
yeah. We hold it together back there, I like to think. We haven't gotten any complaints yet, so.
Yeah. So are you guys pretty booked up for the next couple of months? Or?
Yeah, I think we have 15 more shows this year, and then we're
Okay.
taking the month of December off
To record. Mm-hmm.
And then we're coming back finally with a huge New Year's Eve show at the Good Life in Camden. There's going to be 9 performers. There's going to be food trucks. It's something I've put together personally. over the past month or so, and it's going to be a huge event.
Like a mini festival.
A mini festival, yeah.
Is it safe to say you creating these events have gotten you out of your social anxieties? Is that some of the...
That's part of it. Having to talk to so many people, and it's just... There's so many times where before talking to people, you're sitting there thinking about the conversation you have to have, your heart starts racing. Now I just go right into it.
Yeah.
Just go into it and start talking.
Sometimes it's best.
Bring one of these with me.
Don't over take the edge off, right?
Yeah.
It's
They
best
call it
not
liquid
to.
confidence.
Yeah. It's best not to overthink, right? And just be present and do your thing. And
The worst they could do is say no.
right, exactly.
You know, I always, you think of the worst case scenario, but what's really the worst that could happen?
Yeah, and it's only words.
Yeah, exactly.
It's not like somebody's punching you in the face or anything.
Exactly. I'm not you 20 minutes ago. Getting done with your fighting.
Oh my God! Yeah, I got my ass kicked today. Shout out Jamie Carney for kicking my ass 3 days a week. But, anyways, I'm super excited to see you guys. You guys are playing on Friday, right? And this is again, I'm going to bring it up again. What Masucci does is he debuts a lot of these bands. Not to say, I mean, you guys are kind of new to the area, and new to the music scene, and he kicks it all off on Friday with Filled to the Brim. I had those guys on here last week. Great
Awesome
kids.
people. I was going to say awesome dudes, but they got a lady too. Awesome dudes.
Two
and
ladies.
Two ladies.
Yeah, there's a singer and a drummer.
I knew the singer. I didn't know there was a lady drummer. That's really cool stuff,
She's
man.
badass, man.
That's awesome.
I don't know if you got to check out any of their videos.
I've heard some of that. I heard their Rush cover.
Subdivisions.
Rush is his favorite band, so he was very
I'm
impressed.
super into prog
He
rock.
was very impressed to hear those kids playing that, man. That
Yeah.
is super cool stuff.
I ask this a lot too, and I'm jumping off the subject, and I kind of go all over the place a lot too. But you guys being younger, you're way younger than I am. I want to know some of the new music that you're listening to these days. I know you said that you like Rush and whatnot, but is there any new bands out there that are blowing your head off?
There's a kind of like an indie rock band called Van Sire that I got pretty into. They're still putting out music. It's been super cool in the last few years to, like, every time I go to their Spotify page, see that they've got more and more monthly listeners. And the way I discovered them was actually falling asleep at a house party in college on the floor somewhere in some house in Syracuse. And all these other kids are trying to sleep around me. And this one guy's listening to music real quietly on his phone. And I was listening to it. I was like, man, that's really nice. So I pulled out my phone and I did that thing with, like, the Snapchat where you can, like, hold it near music and it'll tell you what song's playing.
Like Shazam or whatever.
Yeah, exactly. And then I found out, like, what it was, and yeah, I've been pretty into it ever since. There's actually a song by them that's like mine and my girlfriend's song, so it's pretty cool stuff. I like their music a lot. The Gorillas are still making music. Really
Gorillas are good stuff, man. They've been around for a little while now.
Long time.
20 years or so.
Yeah. Demon Days is the first record I ever listened to from cover to cover.
That's
They had
great.
that Clint Eastwood song back in the day.
Yeah, that was a good one,
really
too.
popular.
That one and Feel Good Inc., which we're trying to work on a cover of that.
Right. K-Rock was playing them for a while.
Oh, yeah. K-Rock's always been good about that.
How about you, Logan? Anything new you're listening to these days?
Well, my favorite band of all time is from the 70s, Parliament Funkadelic, Free Your Mind. I'm a huge P-Funk fan.
Super Stupid is the best song ever created, and that's a fact.
I'll give you that one.
All right, thank you.
I'll
I think
give you
it's
that.
the best song ever.
That song and Can You Get to That?
Ooh.
Can You Get to That's a real good one.
I like Standing on the Verge of Getting It On, too.
Yeah,
That's
so
another
you
one,
know.
too. Oh, yeah.
We do
man.
kind of a jam cover of Flashlight.
Yeah, we play
Cool.
Flashlight live. They're my favorite, but they're way old. A lot of the newer stuff I listen to is like if you've ever heard Snarky Puppy.
Oh.
Snarky Puppy's amazing stuff. They're some of the most talented musicians you're going to hear out there. If you haven't listened to them, check them out. They're especially the song Lingus. Just bring a change of pants, because that keyboard solo at the end of that song is the craziest thing I've ever heard.
It'll make you moist.
Yeah, that's for sure.
We'll have to give you some nut rub after that.
I might have to wash my balls for the first time.
I'm telling you, ballwash.com, promo code members only. I'll get you a discount.
I'll have to check it out. I've heard good things about washing.
Who else you listening to?
Oh man, Thundercat. Thundercat's really good stuff. Thundercat, Mono Neon. If you've heard of either of those two,
No.
they're really cool.
Send me some links.
I'm gonna have Thundercat's a guitarist and Mono Neon's a bassist, right? I think
Thundercat plays.
Thundercat
bass,
plays
doesn't
like a baritone guitar
he?
or something.
So something weird.
Something weird, but they play really funky music. They play with that. If you ever heard of JD Beck and Domi? You know,
lost me, man.
You've never heard of them? They're like a prog rock group.
I'll have to check that out. Please send me some links.
I'll send you some links for sure.
love diving into new music.
I love Maybe Sunday.
Yeah, there
Maybe
you go.
Sunday is
Maybe
great.
Sunday is really good stuff.
Which leads me into this question. Some of the local bands that you guys go out and visit sometimes when they're out playing. Is there
Vaporize.
Vaporize
Seen a
is-
couple of their members
they're
a
our
few times. They're
favorite bands.
fantastic.
Vaporized?
Yes,
Yeah.
they're so good.
We finally, I've been trying. I told them in the beginning of this year, I said, we're going to get a show with you. November 19th, we'll be playing at Funkin' Waffles with Vaporize.
Oh, cool.
And that's a huge one for us. Vaporize is one of our favorite bands. Super nice guys, super talented. Been around since they're not even 30 yet, and they've been around for 10 to 12 years already.
Mm-hmm.
So that's super cool stuff.
They definitely have grown a lot.
They have. I've listened to some of their early recordings as opposed to some of their new stuff, and even their early stuff was good, but it's so cool to see a band come together like that.
Yeah. Yeah, for sure. Any other local bands? How about you, Joe? Who you check out when you're out and about?
Oh, well, we seem to run into Shane Archer-Reed and the Harbingers pretty
Yeah,
often.
we run into Shane all the time. He's good stuff. Who else? I have
Well,
so
let's
many
see.
bands. I don't want to leave anybody out. Before August,
The Regular Birds.
the Regular Birds, Buffy and the Boys, the Deadbolts, the 169 Rhythm Section. There are so many good bands around here. Isaac is a real good buddy of ours. Isaac French is real. He'll be at Copper City tonight.
I'm actually going to that.
Are you?
Yeah.
I think I'm trying to get out there.
Yeah, let's meet up. We'll have a couple pops.
Oh, we're getting started. So
Got some catching up to do.
Nice. Wait, yeah, you don't want to see me drunk, pal. You don't.
You got to show me some of that boxing.
There you go. Yeah, I was thinking about going to see Isaac tonight. So I think
yeah,
Isaac's
Isaac's
amazing,
a really
right?
cool guy. He's extremely talented. Got a phenomenal voice. I'm glad he came here to Central New York because I know he's from Vermont originally. I'm glad he was able to relocate so we could discover him out here.
Yeah, shout out to his wife for bringing him here.
Yeah, Lacey. Shout out to Lacey, man.
Lacey induced the whole music scene just by bringing Isaac to town.
That's
so
right.
I love it.
That was a big one. All right, if I'm leaving out any local bands, I love you all. You know that. There's just so many of you to remember. There's so many bands we've played with.
But it's safe to say that this is a very rich music community.
It
certainly
really is.
It surprised the hell out of me, I'll be honest.
Until you get into the music scene,
Yeah.
you don't realize how extensive it is and how much is going
A
on.
lot of really talented people out there in this area.
Yeah. And everybody's very supportive of one another.
Yeah, that's the best thing about it. And another thing that I didn't really expect when we first started getting into this was that everyone seems to have this mindset of why compete, why rip each other down when you can raise everyone up. You know?
Yeah. There doesn't seem to be anybody trying to undercut gigs or something like, hey, this person said they'll play for $300. Well, I'll come in and play for. That doesn't seem to happen too much around here, as far as I've seen so far. And it's really nice because I've heard that there are a lot of places that are really competitive. I've heard Buffalo's a very competitive music scene, and it seems to be more of a brotherhood here than a competition. And I really appreciate that.
Yeah, back in the day, it used to be very, very competitive. But somewheres down the road, it kind of changed, and which is good. It's for the best. I feel that maybe everybody realized that we're all in this shithole together type of thing, you know?
Yeah,
we're all
just
stuck
here.
We're all just trying to do what we love. you know?
Exactly. I'd love to see you guys hit the road, though. I think that would be great.
That's the dream.
That's
Yeah,
the dream?
we're aiming.
Oh,
Next
yeah.
year, we're hoping to do a New York tour. Just go on all the major cities like New York City, Albany, Rochester, Buffalo. Maybe start expanding to some other states. We've yet to play out of state yet, so maybe something over in Vermont.
I got a lot of buddies up in New Hampshire, Vermont, Maine.
I got some friends in Ohio, so that's not too far from the Buffalo area. So
Cool.
there's a lot of opportunities, which is more networking. I got to find some bands who play out there and say, hey, you need an opener, because it's going to be hard to be like, hey, one man the band's coming out, come out. They're like, I've never heard of them. But if you give them a local band featuring us, makes a big difference.
Yeah.
And then, like you said, that can go both ways. They could come back here. They can open for us at one of our gigs.
That's how it goes, man. One hand washes the other.
Exactly.
You guys could do a whole tour just at the SUNY schools.
That's for sure.
You know, back in the day, that's what it was. You tour all these SUNY schools. You go to Canton, Plattsburgh, Oswego.
Just hit like all the college
You hit
bars.
all the college places, and there's all great music venues up in there. Some of them are still open to this day. They've been around for 30 years.
Yeah.
It's amazing.
And that's where you can get all the people coming in, because we have a lot of older fans. Some of the first people we played with, Buffy and the Boys, they're a bunch of like Vietnam veterans. A lot of our fans are older, so we've been really trying to get into like playing in college towns and trying to get our music out to everybody. You know, we love fans of any age. We love fans. We don't care who you are, man. If you like our music, we love you.
Young people sure do seem to like our music more than old people. In general, though.
Yeah.
Are you guys into the jam thing?
Oh yeah.
Oh, yeah.
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 Are there any jam bands out there that you're really into?
One of my favorite bands, the jam band. I got to go back to the Dead, of course, but I'm
Beat me to it.
he was gonna go there. I mean, look at the way he's dressed. This guy, this hippie over here. But I'm a big fan of Fish as well.
Oh yeah.
And
me
there
too.
are a couple jam bands. There's a jam band based out of I think they're based out of Vermont. They're called Organ Transplant.
I remember you were just telling me about those guys.
They're if you check them out, man, they're doing what we're trying to do. They're coming around here. They're playing some shows at Funk and Waffles and stuff like that. They're opening for another larger band around here. They're another jam band that's really good. I'm a big fan of Organ Transplant.
I'll have to check them out.
And what are some other ones? Virgil's Lantern. You know who they are?
Can't say it.
No, you're blowing me away right now.
Man,
All
there
these
are
new bands.
a lot of local bands around here that are, for some reason, Camden, New York has a really good music scene.
I chalk it up because there's nothing to do in Camden.
What
so
else
You're
you-
stuck in the garage playing music.
That's right. And it's turned out a couple great musicians out there. That's
Yeah.
where Buffy and the Boys and the
Yeah.
Deadbolts both come from. And they're big bands we play with all the time. They're good friends of ours.
Excellent.
Was that the lead singer of the Deadbolts always comes on stage with us and does the rap part to Waterfalls. We do the song Waterfalls by TLC.
Jen.
Do you really?
And
Oh, yeah.
none of us can
Oh,
rap,
huge
so we
crowd
bring her up there.
Huge crowd pleaser.
We got a couple people checking in. Joy White saying hello to everybody. These
How's
guys
it
are
going?
great.
We met Joy at we were playing at Burstone Inn for there was a karaoke, and they said, hey, do you guys want to bring your instruments and play some music for us? That's where we met Joy.
Yeah.
Yep.
My mom's checking in. Hi, Mom. Roy Costin. You guys know Roy?
Yeah, Roy's awesome,
He's
man.
awesome.
Roy's got a big show coming up October 23rd at the Calet. He's
Yeah.
got a big show coming up, big Halloween special with Before August and the 169 rhythm section.
I feel like the Calet is the house that Roy built.
I'd have to say as
Right?
much.
It's-
I can't think of any bigger acts that have been there besides him.
yeah, Roy's always that's his spot. I feel like he has a room there. Like
That's
it's like
what he's been advertising this concert as. He keeps saying, I've been playing at the Calet for 35 years.
Hey, Brian Honeywell's checking in. Hey, Logan, nice shirt. Thanks for the shout out. Keep doing what you guys are doing.
Brian's good stuff, man. Maybe Sunday. Love those guys.
Yeah.
If you haven't talked to them, I recommend.
have.
Yeah, they're really cool
I
people.
talked to them in the middle of the pandemic when they released the CD. I got to get those guys.
Hey, well, Above the Trees. That's the name of the CD.
There you
Couldn't
go.
think of it right off.
Yeah, that's a good CD.
I went to high. I'm dating him right now. I'm aging him. I went to high school with the drummer's son. So
Yeah, you dated them. Those guys are like dad rock, right?
yeah. But good stuff though. I love it.
Absolutely, man. Absolutely.
That's the thing, man. I can't
Good people.
because we're gonna be there before we know it.
Oh, we played our first show ever with those guys.
Yep.
Did
They
you?
were-
Yep.
yeah, our very first show, we opened for maybe Sunday at the Legion.
Wow. So when was that?
October 17th, so 4 days will be a year from.
Yep. 4
cool.
days we'll have our 1 year anniversary of the first show we ever played.
That's awesome.
I'll never forget his hands shaking before that show.
I had never
had
played
never been-
music in front of more than maybe 3 people, and I taught myself everything I know. So
And
I
ever
was
since-
nervous.
We started playing and he just took right off, man. Shout out to Joe. He's
As
like-
soon as we got up there, I realized it was no different than rehearsal. You know,
Right.
There's just people there. That's all. But I trained for this, so
yeah.
uh,
Now you're in mode. You're ready to freaking
yeah.
go.
Beyond now, it doesn't matter if we're playing for 500 people or 5 people. You know,
Yeah.
there's no nervousness.
Yep.
Good.
It's just about playing. There's shows where we play where we've got 3 people in the crowd, and we get those 3 people pumped up. We get them singing along. That's as I play the same in front of 3 as I would play in front of 30,000.
Exactly.
Got to bring the heat every time.
That's right.
You got to bring the heat and just do it because you love it.
Exactly.
And there's nothing like playing in front of a bunch of people, especially when they're into it. The energy
Yeah.
level, like
That's why we like Camden so much. Those guys are rowdy.
Yeah, they're very rowdy out there.
nice, man. And it's better than drugs or sex or any of that.
Yeah, there's
It's
nothing
like,
that
there's
beats
nothing like it.
The
Playing-
adrenaline rush of being in front of a crowd of people
that are into it though.
singing
they're
along
not
a song
yeah,
with
they're
you.
nodding
Yeah.
their head and
Because
they're
there's times there could be
dancing
500
around.
people in the crowd, no one paying attention to you.
Yeah, we've had
That's
that.
it. Yeah, that
We've
kind of
had
sucks.
that.
Of course, you're gonna go through that. That's part of growing pains.
Oh, yeah.
You're gonna
That's
have
what-
that, but then you're also gonna have those nights where there's only 20 people in the crowd, but all 20 people are into it.
Yeah,
Yeah.
20 people making noise is a lot more than 600 people not making noise.
Exactly.
So-
And that's what you want. You want people that are totally into it, whether there's 20 people in there paying attention or 200 people in there paying attention, or then, like you said, 600 people not paying attention. It's kind of a bummer. You turn
Yeah.
into background music or whatever. It's like, all right, you might just go play Michael Jackson records.
That's when
Right.
we just start playing some like instrumental jazz music and just try to turn into background music because it seems like that's all people want.
Just use it as rehearsal time.
Yeah, we work on some new stuff.
Tony from Uncle Charlie and Meatballs are checking in. He's saying hello. Thank you, guys. If you're listening or watching on Facebook, if you could do us a favor and click the share button and help spread the word of Animal Rise, the 14th annual Animal for Animals benefit for Stephen Swan Humane Society. Uncle Charlie and the Meatballs, you guys familiar with them?
Oh, man, they're good stuff. They're
Great
super
band.
good stuff. I had heard about them for the longest time just because of that name. Like, that name sticks out to you.
Yeah, it does.
You remember that when you hear Uncle Charlie and the Meatballs. But a couple months ago, I finally, went out and, I checked out their videos on. I haven't been able to see them because we play shows every time anybody we want to see is playing a show. That's the only bad part about playing shows all the time is we can't see all our friends.
Yeah.
Yeah,
But-
right. It
but
makes
yeah.
it tough.
Yeah.
Because you want to support everybody.
Which is why we invite people in whenever we can.
Yeah. We try to book shows with multiple gigs.
Like that Fall Fest we
We'll
did.
take pay cuts if that means we can get some other people on there. It's not all. It's just about playing music with your friends.
Mm-hmm.
But Uncle Charlie, I finally was able to check out some of their stuff, and they're phenomenal, man. They're exactly right up my alley. The kind of music I listen to. They're the kind of music we play. They're a little more bluesy than us.
Yeah.
We go more into the psychedelic, funk rock, but funk and blues go hand in hand. I mean,
Oh, for sure.
it all comes from the same.
It's all roots, baby.
Yeah, that's right.
It's all the roots. So it goes down on Friday. So Phil to the Brim kicks it all off. I'm going to go back to the schedule here. Phil to the Brim kicks it off at 5 o'clock at 12 North Sports Bar. You guys hit it at 6.
Yep,
And then Uncle Charlie immediately after you guys.
that's right.
And then after, see, this is what I love about this lineup because it's so diverse.
Right, it's going all over the place.
It does, because after Uncle Charlie, which was kind of a blues bass, as you said, a blues bass band. Right after that, it's Beside the Sun, one of my favorite bands locally. Have you guys checked out Beside the Sun yet?
I know Handsome Bob.
Yeah, there you go.
So I know Chris.
Yeah.
I didn't know about because we've only been in the music scene for about a year, and they've been taking some time off. So I didn't really know about them until recently. I checked out their stuff. It's really cool stuff. But Chris is an awesome from Handsome Bob. Chris is awesome.
He's a great frontman.
Yeah.
Not only can he sing, we talked about
brings
this
the
yesterday.
energy, man.
Those boys were on yesterday, but yeah, he commands the audience.
I've seen him standing up on tables and stuff.
Uh-huh.
Where's that coming from? I can't do that. I'm standing on the drum. I'm on the drums. I can't do it.
I'll get crazier if you want me to.
You're gonna have to. We'll get you a wireless system.
Yeah,
bro.
we're gonna have.
You just can't ask me to dial it back once I do.
Yeah. It's all or nothing.
And then after Beside the Sun, The Bomb comes in. The Bomb's a legendary.
They're more like they're like kind of covers, but they do a little more hard rock, right? A little more
hard rock, heavy metal. They'll do anything from like Judas Priest to Rage Against the Machine to like Disturbed and Breaking Benjamin. A lot of K-rock type stuff.
All right, cool.
And they've been a band for over 20 years, and they've been doing it. They've been probably the top draw. There's been a couple. I would say the top draw in our area would always be Gridley Page, Showtime, and then like The Bomb. So those three bands are always top dogs.
Yeah, yep. That's exactly. Whenever you hear that band, they're kind of mentioned in the same breath as those other two. They're some of the biggest pulls around here.
Yep. And all three bands are completely different from each other.
Exactly.
Which is great.
It goes to show the diversity of what people want to hear around here.
Logan, you're taking the words right
I'm
out
so
of my
sorry.
mouth.
Yeah, there is a
I
huge
love it. I
variety.
love it. After The Bomb, A Dying Breed, a great heavy metal band.
Mm-hmm.
They're more original than anything. I think they'll throw in a Maiden cover or something like that. And then capping that all off is Motorlord. And Motorlord, good buddies of mine. And they're awesome. Always put on a great show and just straight up metal.
Oh,
you
yeah.
know, like American metal.
Yeah.
You know, kind of.
That's where I grew up. Lamb of God was my favorite band for about 10, 15 years. That's
Oh,
where
sweet.
That's where I come from.
That's where you come from? The land of Randy Blythe?
That's right.
But that all goes down on Friday, October 15th. It's this Friday, people. Go on out. It's super. It's like $10, and all the proceeds go to benefit the Stephen Swan Humane Society. And then on Saturday, his lineup's all over the place, too. With there's a couple singer-songwriters. There's some punk rock. There's some heavy metal. There's some just rock. Tribal Law coming back together. They haven't played together in a bunch of years. So you could go on. You could do $10 for one night or $15 for both. So if you want to go both nights, pay $15. Save yourself some money. But like I said, it all goes to a great cause, and that's Anita Stephen Swan Humane Society. They need the help. And they need your help. They need community support as much as possible. They don't get any government funding.
That's right.
You know, so it's cool that you guys did that fundraiser recently for the cats.
Any opportunity I have to help out any animals, man, I'm on it.
This is the first time we met, and I already know you're a good kid. I love it.
I
you
appreciate
get
that.
a bell, Logan.
I appreciate it. Hey, you know what? Speaking of get something, we got something for you, Joey.
Yeah, we do.
We brought a little swag bag
sure
for you, man.
do.
I got a swag. Yeah, the cord might not reach it. Well, all right.
I got long arms.
You got a long arms.
There we go.
Thanks, guys.
Yeah,
What'd
we
you
brought
give
you a
me?
little swag bag, man.
All right.
Yeah.
We did it
Wow.
for Rick. We got to do it for you.
Rick isn't chilling with the
Chilling
Rick?
with the Rick. Shout out
Rick
to Chillin'.
Smith.
Rick.
We gave Rick a
Dude.
CD and a poster. Rick didn't get this cool stuff. We didn't have all this cool merch when we went on his interview.
As you
Yeah.
can tell by looking at the polls, and then if you go into my office, I'm a sticker junkie.
Perfect. We threw a couple in
Oh
there.
my God! Thanks.
We were
fellas.
sure to do
and
that.
Then, I'm a pin junkie as well.
Yeah.
I have a big tapestry at home that I put all the pins on.
Oh, nice.
That's the way to do
I
it.
don't really rock them around like a lot of kids put them in their hats.
I've
or
seen
whatever.
it. He keeps one on his bandana sometimes.
On my other one, yeah.
Oh, this is awesome, man. So this is your logo with one man in the band, and there's their thing, and then a hat. I got a trucker hat. Awesome.
We did the
Thanks,
custom logo on that one. We made that. We took the logo and we put our faces in it. So my head is on my.
Am I supposed to wear it like this?
If you want to be cool,
Is that how it goes?
If you think you can handle it,
Or I don't think I can handle
I don't.
like this.
That's the way.
Is that how they do it?
I like it.
Do the kids wear the flat brims anymore?
I got a couple at home.
Is that a thing anymore?
I think so. I think
Maybe. I don't know. I feel like I see more people with the functional curve.
I'm more of a
Yeah,
backwards
yeah.
hat guy.
I think the baseball caps are coming back. The
with
dad
the-
hats. Yeah.
That's the way it should be, bro.
Those are coming
It
back.
should be like, because I'm old. We don't want to date myself, but this, you flatten out the,
Yeah.
or you round out the brim,
Yeah.
right? And then you just throw it on, and then you're ready to play second base.
Exactly. They actually serve the purpose to block the sun out of your eyes.
Too. But a lot of the kids, they would wear it like this. I could never understand it. And I guess I was the old man, kid, get off my lawn type of guy.
Yeah.
But, you just kind of roll with the changes and how kids do things these days. But, yeah, so I'm
That's
gonna wear
one,
it like this.
one of
I
my
like
favorite George Clinton quotes is, if it starts to piss you off, it's probably the new thing.
That's great. Oh, that's awesome. But I'm going to wear this backwards. Masucci's checking in. He says he needs a sticker for the garage bar.
Oh, we
We'll
got
be
you.
sure to bring a bunch of them.
We got you. We'll have
Yeah.
all our merch at the benefit. We always throw our merch up somewhere, try to make a couple extra bucks.
It's smart, man. It's the only way you can make a couple extra bucks nowadays. You're not really going to make much money off the show or on Spotify or any of those. So merchandise.
I think we've brought in about $15 whole on Spotify. So retirement's next.
Really rolling in it.
So if I scan this QR code, where's it bringing me?
It's going to bring you to our compiled page, which is a page that has our Facebook. It has our Instagram. It has our YouTube page. It's got our EP. It's a link to our links.
Gotcha.
It brings you to everywhere you need to go for One Man the Band.
I love it. I got a new hat I'm going to rock. I'm going to rock this shit all the time.
We appreciate that,
Yeah.
man. I had to hook you up with something, man. Thanks for bringing us out.
No, this is awesome, man. It's good. I'm glad you guys came. You added to my wardrobe.
Oh, that's what we're here for.
That's what my wardrobe consists of, is like band T-shirts and local band T-shirts. And
That's
just
what I'm
bands
trying
that
to
I've
start a
worked with.
collection.
Yeah, I mean, that's what I got going on, too. It's just nothing but a collection of band T-shirts, and they're all black.
That's how they do it. I think what they go, maybe Sunday went with the gray here.
The charcoal.
Yeah, ours is, our band shirt is black too, right? Or like maybe a
It's
navy
like
blue.
Kind of like a grayish blue, like a dark blue.
A dark color, though.
Yeah.
Nice. I'm psyched.
We figured most of the people wearing our shirts are going to be drinking a lot, so we don't want them to spill. We don't want anything that's going to show the spills.
How long you been playing drums?
I've been playing drums since I was about 5 years old.
Oh, wow.
My first drum set was my grandma's Pots and Pans.
Okay.
She still remembers that, and she doesn't let me forget it.
Uh-huh. Does Grandma come out to the shows?
Oh, Grandma comes to the shows.
Does
That's
she?
right. When we play in Oneida, she definitely is out to all the shows. And she always
Awesome.
tells us we have to quiet down a little bit. I said, Grandma,
Well,
we're
that's
just
what
gonna
grandmas
get you.
do.
We're gonna get you a pair of earplugs. No, his grandparents, both sets of your grandparents, they're on all the shows,
they
man.
Come out. I had some of my grandparents come down from New Hampshire when they were on their way down to Florida. They stopped by to see us play.
How cool is that? I think you
Yeah.
got to tell your grandparents to get you some gigs in Florida.
That's right.
That's next winter.
We'll
Right.
go down
Gigs
the
and
whole
maybe a
coastline.
house with no property tax.
But is that a thing too? Like the parents of the band, everybody comes out and supports. So you got family support in the crowd.
Yeah. That was our biggest thing when we first started. It was we were able to advertise to people that, hey, we know we don't have much of a we haven't played many shows, but if you bring us to your gig, we got big families, we got big groups of friends. we can still bring people in your bar and then maybe gain some new fans out of that.
Yeah.
So that was a huge pull in the beginning, is because we have such great families who support us. My mom and dad are at almost every one of my shows. My fiance has been to every show. Your mom and dad have been to
Tons of them.
tons of shows.
As many
every
as
show
they
they
can
can
make it to.
to.
My brothers.
Yeah, because that's the
High
important
school
thing.
buddies.
That's the important thing with these venues. If you want to get booked in these venues, it's about. What am I doing over here? I'm messing up over here.
Getting close
I
in
don't
on
even
us.
know where. There it
There
is.
we are.
I'm pushing buttons over there. I don't even know what the hell I'm doing. That's the important thing, though. These venues have to sell beer.
Yeah.
Yeah,
You know,
and-
it's not
and we
really
get
so
it.
much. They don't really care what you sound like as long as you can bring in people and sell some beer. You know, because you're not. I know you guys make music, but they're in the beer selling business.
Yes, they
Exactly.
are.
They want to sell alcohol, and that's what it's about. So if you guys are bringing people in the crowd, they're going to keep booking you.
Exactly,
You know, so-
and that was one of our biggest things, is that we could bring people, maybe not the biggest crowd, but we could bring people that haven't been to your bar before, and that was a big selling point for us. We really were glad to have such supportive families and close friends who came out to our beginning shows, and now we got people who we met at shows who were coming back out to shows to hear us again.
Beautiful.
That's super cool stuff.
So it's working.
It's as far as we know, it's working.
You just keep playing. That's it.
That's it,
Have
man.
fun with it, you know. And if you could put some support in the crowd, they're going to book you.
Exactly.
They're going to book you. Nice. Awesome. So where can people find you online? You got any music out there yet? Or like you said, I know you're recording in December, but is there anything out there that people could check out now?
We have an EP called Garage Sessions, but that was just me and our guitarist before Joe joined the band here. But our newest song, Speak Up, it's played on 92.7 The Drive. Shout out to Genesee Joe.
Yeah, my brother.
Yeah, he put our song on there. They put us on 95X. That was a big thing. We've been on several Spotify playlists. Our newest song is called Speak Up, and it's one of my favorite songs that we play. It's really, it was written by our guitarist Brad, who is our lead songwriter. He's a phenomenal songwriter. I don't know where he comes up with it, but he does really good stuff. So yeah, our newest song, Speak Up. You can find it anywhere music is found. Spotify, Apple Music, anywhere you can find music, you can find Speak Up.
Awesome. Great. Well, I'll have to follow you guys up there on the Spotify. What's your streaming platform you prefer to listen to music on?
I have always been a Spotify man myself.
Yeah.
I was a big Apple guy, but I would always just buy the music on iTunes because I was very big about, like, I wanted in case the streaming went away or something, I would still have it. But then, I don't know. As time went on, I still got sick of paying for everything, so I started going on Spotify.
Do you
I
pay
still-
for Spotify, though?
I pay for Spotify, yep,
Yeah,
and I still
it's so
tried
worth
to.
it.
100%.
I mean, it sucks for the artists. I have some of my music on Spotify. Like you said, you made $15 off it. We released the Street Rock Mafia album. I think we made $30 off the whole thing, and we've gotten thousands of downloads. And, you know, it's like,
yeah.
it's not even worth it. But as far as a listener goes,
Yeah, as far
the
on the
best
other
platform.
end, you can't beat it. It's I mean, it has helped in some sense because people pay for music somewhat now, as to where they used to just go on LimeWire and torrents and get it all illegally. So it's not much, but it's better than the nothing they were getting from all the illegal downloads,
yeah.
which was a big thing for the longest time.
Yeah, for sure. Napster.
Well, Napster,
Yeah.
LimeWire.
And everybody made fun of Lars Ulrich back when from Metallica
for being mad about it.
being mad
yeah.
about it. But
Yeah.
you know, everybody was just getting their panties in a bunch. But he was right.
He was right.
He was. I mean, looking at it, the artist aspect of things, he you know, it's theft. You know, so I mean, if you pay for, and I think sometimes Spotify they can be crooked, you know, and they should pay their artists a lot more.
They
Because how
should.
many millions and billions of dollars does the CEO of
I'm
Spotify
sure he's sitting
make
in a
year?
big mansion right now.
Right.
How many islands does he need?
Yeah.
Right.
More than one? 'Cause-
He's buying Epstein's island
Yeah,
right now
yeah.
as we speak. But no, it's true though. Like he should kind of give back to the music community a little bit more.
'Cause without the music community, that guy's nothing.
Yeah.
Right, exactly.
He's a nobody without the music community. So, and that's a lot of bands make their money off of playing shows like we're doing. Like there's a lot of I just bought tickets to see the Red Hot Chili Peppers in MetLife Stadium next year.
Wow, when's that?
Oh, August.
Who's playing with them?
Thundercat. I told you about Thundercat earlier. I'll send you a link for them and the Strokes, which we do as the Strokes. We do.
We cover Reptilia.
We cover Reptilia by the Strokes. It's a classic song. So that'll be one of the biggest concerts I've ever been to. At I've seen like Earth, Wind and Fire and George Clinton, but in their later years. So
Yeah. Earth, Wind, and Fire brings it, though.
They still do, even at their age now, man. I saw them at the
they
State Fair a couple years back.
Yeah, man. I was there, too.
We've always wanted to cover one of their songs, but there's just so much going on in Earth, Wind, and Fire songs.
I got a buddy who plays trumpet who could fill in a little bit of that brass
He
section.
might have to.
So you were at that show. Leonard Skinner played the afternoon set.
Yep.
And then there was like 40,000 people watching that. And then, that was such a legendary day. It was a day I'll never forget.
It was fantastic, and it's just so cool to see these bands going. Even you know, I know. Rest in peace, Maurice White. Maurice, the original lead singer, but they still got their backup singer Philip
Bailey, man.
Philip Bailey, and they got Bernadine White, the bass player, and
This is like one of the best bass players ever.
and he. Talk about bringing energy as a bass player. That guy, even at like 80 years old, is like running around the stage playing the bass. So Earth, Wind, and Fire is a great one I love to see. I still would love to see, if they ever do any more stuff, the Ohio Players, the Brothers Johnson. That's where I come from, funk music.
I love
Funk
it,
and
man.
A little bit of disco here and there.
You like the pocket.
That's right. That's right.
You're a pocket guy.
That's right. Play the drums. That's why.
That's it.
Makes sense.
It definitely does make sense.
Yeah.
What about you? Who's some of your influences playing the bass?
Ooh, Geddy Lee is a huge one. Lately, I've been really into Chris Squire from Yes.
Of course.
Another big influence. Less so in my style of playing, more so in my sound and the sound that I go for. Kind of a little out of left field, but Victor Wooten is another big influence. I play a lot of chord jams way high up on the neck.
Best bass player ever.
Yeah, he's hard to beat.
Right.
That's for sure.
Well, other than Jocko. But
We'll teach you
Yeah.
classical thump. See if you can handle that.
Back before I got into prog rock, I was really into like 80s thrash metal, like classic Metallica, Slayer, stuff like Anthrax, yeah, Megadeth. So Cliff Burton was another big influence as far as bass playing goes.
You know who doesn't get any love in that whole scene is Frank Bello from Anthrax. And
No,
he should,
doesn't. Yeah, he's fantastic.
They always talk about Scotty Ian, and of course, Charlie Benente's a monster drummer. But Frank Bello really never gets any love, and the guy freaking rips, man.
Yeah, he's like the Ringo Starr of Anthrax, pretty much. You know, he just doesn't get any love, even though what he's doing.
He doesn't get any love
is
at all,
perfect,
man.
you know?
And he's got that very Steve Harris type of playing too.
Yeah.
And it's just all finger picking.
Yep,
And
that's how I do it. All fingers. But you know, you play with enough attack, you can still kind of get that pick sound.
For sure.
You know, it works out. But definitely, Victor Wooten was a huge influence. Cliff Burton, like I just said, and you know, Dave Ellefson from Metallica. I mean, how can you hear Symphony of Destruction and hear the bass line in that and not want to play the bass guitar? I mean, that's one of the songs that actually made me decide to pick that as my first instrument.
yeah. It's kind of weird on how they ended it with Dave Ellefson, though, huh?
Yeah, a little bit.
Yeah, it kind of makes you think. Well, you just don't know what goes on behind closed doors. But at the same time, I feel like they dragged his name through the mud. But who knows?
It feels like it.
We don't know the whole story.
Yeah,
so
similar thing with the one guy in Metallica, Jason Newsted, the guy they replaced him with. You can't hear the bass on "Injustice for All."
Not at all.
Yeah.
Yeah. And now Jason Newsted's living in Skinny Atlas.
Yeah, I actually, a buddy of mine lives right across the lake from him.
Come on.
Not kidding.
Nice. He bought like a $5 million home. Like,
Yeah.
think about the royalties he's getting off just like the Black album.
I know. Must be immense.
Anybody who's been a part of Metallica for even 5 minutes probably set for
It's a lot
life.
of money.
Seriously. Cool. That's some major influences right there, brother. So you're all over the spectrum. That's great, man. It's good to be diverse.
Yeah, well, that's the one thing that I really love about our sort of project here is we all listen to, like, pretty different music in terms of where we, like, originally started out with our musical tastes, but there is a surprising amount of overlap. And that's always really cool because it kind of makes you realize things about songs that you like that you didn't really consider from someone else's perspective, you know? And so it's always fun to cover songs like that we all grew up listening to, even though we were listening to different music for the most part. It's interesting for sure.
There's a guy on YouTube that plays the drums, and like he goes and looks for different bass players, and he'll hire like 3 or 4 different bass players to see what they would put to his drum tracks. I can't remember the name of the guy now, and it's such a unique idea.
I know a guy who does the opposite of that. A bass player who gets drummers.
Yeah.
A guy named Davey 504.
I've seen that video, yeah.
Yeah, Davey's cool
He
stuff.
does that sometimes.
I gotta check that out.
Yeah, people use Fiverr. They go and they hire people on Fiverr to like finish their track for them, and it's super cool stuff.
Yeah, and it's just to see everybody's different interpretation on the beat, you know?
Yeah.
That's amazing, man. That's cool.
Yeah, you definitely, that's one of the first things you learn is you got to stop trying to sound like other people. And you got to find how you sound. You know?
Yep, and that's how you develop your own sound. You know, you can sound like this guy a little bit, but once you start playing and cutting your teeth and getting your chops up, then you start to develop your own sound, and you start messing with tones and different, frequencies and whatnot. So that's cool, man. Good. I'm excited, man. You guys are playing this Friday, 12 North Sports Bar, the Animals for Animals Jam. It's going on at 12 North. These guys go on at 6 o'clock. Go check out One Man, the band. Where does the name come from? I didn't get to ask you that yet.
Well, originally it was just me and the guitarist Brad. He was one man, and I was the band. He was the front man, and I was in the back. And when we recorded albums, he did the vocals and the guitar, and I did the keys, the bass, and the drums.
Oh, wow.
So I was covering the band section, and he was the front man. And then as we decided that
a lot, dude.
I couldn't do all that live, I realized I can't play the drums, bass, and keys all at the same time live.
You can't?
I've been trying, but I haven't figured it out yet. I can play the drums and the keys at the same time, but I can't throw the bass in there, too.
Find some triggers.
I got to get good on my plucking with my feet. So we got Joe and we got our buddy Gabe, and we just stuck with the name. A lot of people have told us we should change it, but I'm not.
I really love the logo we came up with, so I figured if
cool.
someone told us we had to change it, we'd just call ourselves OMTB.
We'd be OMTB if we had to change it, just like OAR or REM.
Stands for whatever you want.
Yep.
I don't know.
OMTB.
Nice.
I have a lot of things that could stand for, but I can't say them right now.
For legal reasons.
You can. There's no restrictions here. You can swear your ass off.
I think my grandma might be watching.
All right. Sorry, Grandma.
I got one for you. Is our bass player Joe here just built his own bass out of scratch?
I did.
Really?
Yeah,
He built a Rickenbacker.
Yeah, well, I've always wanted a Rickenbacker because I'm obsessed with Geddy Lee and Chris Squire, and they play Rickenbackers for the most part.
Paul McCartney.
Paul McCartney as well. Cliff Burton started out with the Rickenbacker.
Yep, for sure.
Played it on their first record. But problem is I can't afford to drop $2,000 on an instrument, and if I save up for one, I'm always going to feel guilty for buying it for myself, But I love the way they sound. I love the way they look. Doing tons of research. Apparently, the sound of a Rickenbacker really comes down to having the pickup centered directly under the 24th and 36th fret octaves, where the harmonic points are on the strings. So I ordered a slab of ash with a jazz bass pickup route for the bridge pickup and just a big wide humbucker sort of pickup route and I made sure when I specified my measurements that they were in exactly the right place. And then I got a neck. Then I just went at the thing with a skill saw and a sander, and it took like probably 3 days straight, working for like 10 hours straight, just listening to music and crushing beers. And
did you lay the frets too?
No, I got a neck made.
Okay.
But when it came to the headstock, it was just a paddle. The neck's maple, and so I had to cut it to kind of make it similar to that Rickenbacker shape. And it took a long time, but totally worth it. Sounds fantastic. It plays smooth as butter, and plus side is I didn't pay $2,000 for it, so I can mod it to hell and back if I want to, I still haven't wired that second output jack in, but I want to do that stereo output thing that the Rickenbackers have, where you can have one pickup going to one amp and one to another and apply effects separately, which I think would be super cool. So.
Bass?
Yeah, it's the one I've been playing for the last few since I finished it.
Yeah, we just spent $1,000 on a Fender bass for him, and then he buys this and puts the Fender bass in storage.
I bring both of them. It depends on the song.
Is it P bass or jazz bass with the Fender?
I've got so many basses. I've got this Fender P bass that we picked up. I've got this Rickenbacker, I call it the Red Devil because it's red. I stained it red. That I built, and then I've got Music Man Stingray. I've got a nice Squire jazz bass, one of those like 60s vintage series reproduction runs that they did with the lacquer on the back of the neck, which I actually really like. I know a lot of people don't care for it, but I've got that, and then I've got some dinky piece of garbage Chinese jazz bass copy that I ordered on the internet when I was 14, and that's the first instrument I learned how to play.
Oh, you got to keep that.
Yeah, I can't get rid of that
I'm
one.
Still sitting in my closet. It's doesn't have strings on it right now, but it's still sitting there.
Still there, that's right.
Yeah, it's gonna go up on my mantelpiece one day.
I was just gonna say that's gonna end up on the wall.
Yeah, that's right. The very first one, and learning to play on such a crappy instrument was almost a blessing, because once I got my hands on a somewhat decent bass, like a couple of years later, it blew my mind how easy it was to play. And ever since then, nothing's too difficult. because that thing is like a real garbage rod, if we're being honest.
Wow, man. Keep playing, though, man. You're young. You can do it. You know, both of you guys are young. And just having this hour conversation with you guys, I could see big things for you guys. I think
we
it's gonna be
appreciate that,
really
man.
good, man. You guys are very into it, and that's and passionate about what you guys are doing. So keep it up.
That's all we can do is just keep it up.
That's it, man. Keep playing. Just keep playing. That's it. And who cares what anybody says? Just do it for you.
Exactly.
Yeah,
Yep.
going back to the social anxiety thing that he was talking about earlier, that was a big thing for me too. Was once I went up on stage and I played music and I sang, and you know, I didn't care so much if people liked it or hated it, and you know, the response was not overwhelmingly negative. I realized that it really doesn't matter that much what other people think of you. You know,
Exactly.
and the truth of the matter is, everyone's so wrapped up in their own head that when you go away, they're not going to think about you. You know,
Exactly.
So don't worry about it too much. Like you said, just go for it.
And if
Don't
they are
overthink
thinking
it.
about you and making fun of it, it means you're doing something right.
Yeah, because they remembered you.
If you have haters out there, you're doing something
That's
right.
right.
So it's kind of a good thing. You know, it's a double-edged sword kind of in a way, but if they're talking shit, it's kind of a good thing.
Exactly.
They're still talking
It
about
means
you.
they took notice.
Yeah, it's kind of like no negative press is good press.
Right.
in a
No
way,
such
you know?
thing as
That's
bad
right.
publicity.
No such thing as
Right.
bad publicity. Awesome. One man the band. I'm excited to see you guys. It's coming up Friday, couple days. 12 North Sports Bar, the Animals for Animal Jam, and Masucci. Make sure you book these guys again. I want to see these guys playing a bunch of gigs locally and doing a bunch of the events. He does a bunch of things throughout the year. I mean, obviously he hasn't in the past year or two because of COVID, but prior to all that, he was doing things for the Veterans Outreach Center and for Wounded Warriors, and he was doing, of course, for this is the 14th annual he's been doing. We've raised almost $80,000 in
crazy.
like 14 years for Stephen Swan. So it's amazing, man. Absolutely amazing. Plug all your social media tags and where people can find you online.
Oh, at oneman.theband on Facebook, as well as on Instagram.
Yep. Everywhere you can find us, we're One Man the Band. It turns out there was nobody else with that name.
Beautiful.
Convenient, right?
Yeah.
You can
makes
find us Facebook, YouTube, Instagram. You can find us on Spotify. Our new song, Speak Up. We are all over the place. We got shows coming up at the Legion, a Halloween show. We're playing with Vaporize the Funkin' Waffles, and we got one coming up, a big event, New Year's Eve at the Good Life with about 7 or 8 bands that we're putting together. So
Awesome.
we got a lot of cool stuff coming up.
Awesome. I wish you guys luck, success, and nothing less, my friends. Keep doing what you're doing, and thank you for coming in. Thanks for the hat and the
Anytime,
swag,
man.
man. I
Yeah, no
love it,
problem.
man. Make sure you guys check these guys out Friday, 12 North Sports Bar for the Animals for Animals Jam. Shout out to EJA Moving Service, Joey's at 307, Utica Coffee, Attorney Dave Longaretta, Saranac Brewery. Under Too Long is a book by Billy the Liquor Guy. It's a great book. Pick it up on Amazon or wherever you get your books. And shout out to ballwash.com. Use promo code members only for a 15% discount.
Try and remember that one.
I'll try to remember
Telling
that.
you, man, you want your nuts smelling forest fresh. Sorry, Grandma, but they're one of my sponsors. If you want your nuts smelling forest fresh, get yourself some nut
I'm
roast.
sure that's what my grandma would want too.
Logan, do you have fresh nuts? Anyways, guys, thanks so much for coming in, man.
Hey,
This
thanks
was a
for
lot
having
of
us.
fun. And listen, use my platform. If you got upcoming shows, CD release party, any of that, let me know. Keep in touch.
Awesome. We
Cool
sure
beans.
will, man.
All right, guys. We'll see you later. Have yourself a good day. Later.